All right, hello and welcome to day 2 of NTI. So let's get started. I will model how to solve this specific problem. 1/4 of a recipe is flour. 2/3 of the rest of the recipe was milk. How much of the recipe was milk? Okay, so the word rest, that's a key word here. Okay, so I'm going to draw this out. 1/4 of this, let's pretend this box is the recipe. 1/4 of the recipe is flour. So I'm going to break this box up into fourths. And this part here is the flour. However, 2/3 of the rest of the recipe was milk. How much of the recipe was milk? So I'm not using this flour piece right here. I'm using the rest, also known as the remaining piece. Okay, this is the rest. And 2/3 of that was used for milk. So I'm going to break this up into thirds and recognize that out of the rest here, two-thirds is being used for milk. 1/3, 2/3, and of course 3/3 is the rest. 1, 2, 3. 2/3 is for milk. So how many pieces did I break this whole entire thing into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. 12 being my denominator. How many were shaded in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6/12 of the recipe was milk. However, I can't stop there. I need to simplify. Okay. It doesn't ask me to simplify, but I need to recognize in 5th grade that I need to reduce it to the simplest form. So I'm going to divide each number by 2 because I know they're both even, and therefore they can both go into 2. When I do that, or 2 can go into both of them. When I do that, I get the answer of 3/6. Wait a second. 3/6. I think I can simplify that again. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify it again. Now, some of you might have realized right off the bat that 12 goes in, that 6 can go into 12, and could have divided, instead of by 2, divided it by 6. But maybe you didn't recognize that, and it took you now having to divide or simplify twice to get your final answer. Once again, looking at this problem, the key word here is rest. 2/3 of the rest. A very big misconception being made here is finding 2/3 of the flour, of the 1/4. I don't care about the flour. This is flour. I can't make milk into flour. I can't say 2/3 of the flour is milk. Doesn't make sense. So at this time, what I'd like you to do is solve this problem here by, on your own, remember the word remaining also means rest. So solve it. If it can be reduced, make sure you reduce it. So at this point in time, please hit the pause button. Okay, now that you have gone ahead and solved this problem, let's see how you did. So 2/3 of the collection of sports cards are baseball. So I'm going to break a box up into thirds because thirds is my denominator. I'm going to then recognize, hold on, 1/5 of the remaining are basketball. 2/3 of the collection of sports cars are baseball. So all right, so 2/3. Here's all my baseball cards. 1/5 of the remaining, here's my remaining, are basketball cards. Well, the remaining isn't basketball cards. 1/5 of this is. So I need to break this into fifths. One-fifth is basketball. I mean, baseball is so much better than basketball, right? Just kidding. Okay. Now, my denominator is based off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is my denominator. And 1/5 is only one of them. Should it is. So 1/15 is my answer. Now, there's somebody saying, well, Mr. Brisman, I don't want to draw the picture if I don't have to draw the picture. Okay, well, you then have to recognize that the expression you need to make is going to be 1/3 times 1/5 to get your answer of 1/15. So if you can recognize that, that's awesome. But I really think it's going to take a lot of us drawing the picture to be able to recognize that, or at least practicing over and over and visually seeing this before we can identify what the actual expression is. Because to go from here to here is abstract. It's a really high level thinking. But since this is new, well, I shouldn't say new, but recently learned, a lot of us need to work on the picture first. All right, next, go ahead and solve this problem on your own. Hit the pause button. Okay, now that you've taken the time to solve this one, I'm going to go ahead and see if you got it correct. 2/5 of my yard has been mowed. 2/3 of the remaining yard are weeds. Well, I'm not going to mow any weeds. Okay, my lawnmower is not going to be able to go through the weeds. What fraction of the yard has weeds? So I'm going to create a box, pretending this is my yard. Break it into fifths, because that's my denominator. Recognize 2/5 has already been mowed. Two-thirds of the remaining yard is weeds. So I'm going to break this up into thirds and shade in 2/3 of it. 1/3, 2/3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is my numerator. Out of the whole entire yard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Can that be simplified? Well, 2 can't go into both numbers. But 3 can. So I'm going to divide my numerator and my denominator by 3 to get 2 1/5. So therefore, 2/5 of my yard has weeds in it. Let's move on to the next problem. 3/4 of a class trip are made up of students. 3/8 of the remaining participants are dads on the trip. What fraction of those on the trip are dads? Okay, at this point, hit the pause button and work out this problem. All right, so now that you've had the time to work it out, let's go ahead and solve this problem and check to see if you got it correct. So 3/4 of the class trip are students. Well, most class trips are going to be made up of students, so that makes sense. In this case, 3/4 of them, 3/4 are the students of this whole entire class trip. Okay. 3/8 of the remaining participants are dads on the trip. Here's my remaining, my rest. Therefore, I'm going to break this up into eighths now. 3/8 of the remaining. Okay, 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And yes, my equivalent pieces are not ideal. There's 3 is going to be my numerator. And figure out how many pieces we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to not have to count all the pieces, so 4 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down. So 4 times 8 equals 32. 3/32 of the participants are dads. That can't be simplified because 2 is not going to go into 3 and 32, and 3 is not going to go into 3 and 32, which means that's my answer. Now, at this time, hopefully you're picking up on some mistakes that you've made, if you've made any. Okay? I wish I could be there to pinpoint those misconceptions, but I really need you to just try your best to pick it out on your own. And ask any parents around to also assist you. Okay, moving forward, we're going to now do our exit ticket. So here's your exit ticket question. And where you're going to answer it is in your parents' email. They have the link for it. So 7/8 of the songs on Mr. Brislin's music playlist are country. 2/3 of the remaining songs are hip hop. What fraction of all the songs are hip hop? So all I need you to do is type in the answer you came up with. Unfortunately, I can't see your work. I can at least see if you got the right answer. All right. The next video I do, or if you're able to attend the next Zoom lesson, I will go over the exit ticket answer. All right. Thanks a lot for participating.